What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another video. So I want to talk about how you shouldn't let the narcissist be the messenger. Because when you allow the narcissist to deliver a message for you, you best believe that they're going to twist it around some kind of way to make you look like the bad guy. And the way that this happens is, say for instance, you know, how the narcissists usually hide other supply from you. But somehow you meet up with this supplier, you get acquainted with them, and y'all might start to just start to talk more often. And the narcissist, once they pick up on it, of course they panic a little bit, because chances are y'all might end up discussing the narcissist and all their dirty little secrets. So this exposes the narcissist. And the narc is the type of person that they feel if they're going to go down, they're not going to go down alone. They got to take somebody down with them. That's the whole purpose of them being the way they are, because they can't admit to their wrongs. It's always, they never, it's always a mistake. Never take accountability or anything. They never admit to their wrongs. And if they do, it's a mistake when they feel like they don't have any more argument in them. And then, of course, they put on an act around certain people. So it kind of all depends on the situation and the lie that you catch the narcissist in. It all depends on how they're going to respond. But back to, them being a messenger. I have been in situations where my message has been completely turned around. Something that I've said was twisted and things were added on. And it made me wonder, why were people, why did they start acting a funny way with me? And, I couldn't help but question, like, this didn't happen until you start to repeat something that I said. And a narcissist will tell you in a way, but you really have to pay attention to the way they, the way they say things. Because if not, you'll be tricked into believing every little thing they did was innocent. But the narcissists have this hidden agenda about them, and they want people to dislike you, because they know that sooner or later the mask will slip and people will start to see who they are. And so again, if they go down, they're not going to go down alone. They got to take somebody with them. So narcissists, it's like in my situation, someone had asked me, like a narc asked me, can I order some masks for someone who I barely know enough about, but I know of them. And so I was like, yeah. And my thing about it is, the narcissist, it's like, they'll make people think that if they have you where they want you at, with their whole give and take, you owe me thing, they'll make you look good to people. But the moment you take that away from them is when they need to put your name out there and make you look like a bad person. Like, oh, trust me, they're not innocent, or they're not all that good. They're full of drama. They're kind of messy on the slick and stuff like that. Narcissists do things like that because, again, they can't take the charge on their own. So it's like some narcissists, they can admit to being messy, but they'll say it in a funny way so that you can just kind of blow it off and not really take them too serious. But trust me, when they tell you who they are, believe them. They are very messy people. They're full of drama and confusion, and they will get you mixed all up in the middle of something that you didn't have anything to do with. So the narcissist, she told this person that I would order them some masks, and I ordered the mask. And I told the person how much the mask, I told the narc to tell the person the price of the mask, but I didn't tell her the text, because I'm not worried about the text. So she was like, and I'm going to make sure that she pay you. And it's like, well, if this your friend, why do you have to put so much emphasis on making sure that she paid me for the mask when they come in? I mean, I wasn't going to even like, I didn't need the narc to be the middleman in order to give the person something that they asked me to order for them. I could have brought it to them myself, or spoke with them myself over the phone. Narcissists, they always want to be in the middle. And you have to be careful with that, even when you're giving them a message to tell somebody, because it's not going to get back to them like that. So I was like, well, I'm pretty sure she's going to pay for them. And she was like, yeah, I'm just saying, I just want to, and it was like that. I'm just saying, like, you got to trust. But if you was really worried about me trusting them, then why would you advise them to ask me to get them, like, just that whole messy thing they got with them. So very shady. And it's because they want you to question people. Just so they can have something on you in case it ever come back up. They got to tell people something that you said. So when the mask came in, she got the mask. She took them to the person. And I said, make sure you tell her that the packaging came all, the packaging, I think they came from China. And it took a long time before they came in. So the packaging, it was just a mess. Like, the packages, they come in all bent up. Some of them are scratched up. But I think she ordered 50. And so I was like, tell her to count all of them. And even though that wouldn't have been my fault, I was willing to take, the masks were like $14. So I was like, I would take if they took, if they were shortened. If they didn't send her 50, I was like, well, she could pay me. She don't have to give me the whole $14. But the mask, after tax and everything, it came up to more than $14. But I didn't tell her that. So the thing, because I know she was going to tell her in a messy way, like they were 14 plus tax, and she wanted her tax. Like, I know she was going to do it, so I didn't even tell her. So I said, make sure you tell her that the packaging was messed up. And she said, and I say, and tell her if some of them are missing, she don't have to give me the full amount or whatever. Just give me whatever she have, even though that's not my fault. That's something that I was willing to make a deal with. So she was like, well, I looked in them, so I'll tell her. And I say, well, please make sure you tell her that you went inside her mask and took some out. And she was like, yeah, I counted them all 50 was there, but I took some of them out. I sure did. And I say, well, let her know. And I have yet to talk to that person to let them know that, because they never thanked me for the mess. They sent me the money all, balled up. And I was like, it had to be something that she said to her in order for her, I just don't feel that she would have just not said anything, like, thank you for ordering, anything. Like, and especially the fact that some of them were missing. And I say, did you tell her? And she said, no, I ain't tell her. I'll tell her if she say something. And I was like, why didn't you tell her? Because this gonna make, it's gonna make the person look at me funny. Like, I'm a shysty person, that shorted her mask, and I got a lot of money out of it. Like, all that type of stuff just ran across my mind a couple of times. So you have to be careful when you let a narcissist be the middle person and give messages for you, because it'll never get to the other side in the right way. They're gonna always twist things around to make you look bad. They need you to look bad. This whole squeaky clean image that you have, they can't let you just be that way, because the more people see you as that type of person, the more attention they're going to give you, and the more attention is going to be taken off the narcissist. And they're very jealous, so they'll do anything to taint your image. And not that, like, I have a bad of, like, I'm getting better at it though, like caring about what people think about me. Like, that's just something that I'm struggling with. Not struggling in a bad way, like worry too much about what people say, but it's something I think about a lot. Like, I wonder, what did she say about me? Because again, I'm not too vocal as far as approaching people, introducing them, and just all that kind of stuff. It's like, what you see with me is what you get. There's no need for you to think otherwise of me. But when people know that you're that way, that gives them, like dirty people, that gives them this opportunity to create you to be something that you're not. And a lot of times a lie is more believable than the truth, and people not going to do their research. They're going to go by the first thing they hear. Hearsay is entertaining, so people going to go for it. But that's just something that I don't like, is to be lied on and to be lied to. And I know a lot of y'all, y'all are like that as well. But my thing is, you just have to be careful with a narcissist, because they do stuff like that. And there's so many other examples I could give I can't think of right now. But that's one thing. And another thing is, she told me that, now y'all know I cut the narc off. Cold-blooded, I don't care. Call me a savage about it. I accept it. Like, I wear that. I'm a whole savage when it comes to cutting off the narcissist. I don't care, period. So this person told the narc, another narc, that, it's a shame that people can't get along. A lot of times that comes up when people don't understand what's going on. And, and I'm not going to explain it, because you're going to be wasting your time. They're not going to get it. But the bottom line is, yeah, I cut people off. I don't deal with people. It's not about getting along. It's about, I'm not going to be controlled by toxic individuals. So the narcissist is going to take that information. And she was like, yeah, she said, it's a shame that y'all can't get along down there at work. Everybody is just not togetherness. I say, they get along. They get along real good. And I get along with anyone who respects me. And she said, yeah, I told her that. It's just a shame. And I say, well, you should have told her what's really going on and the reason why I don't associate with all of them. But it don't matter if people think what they want to think. That's what I told her. So she was like, yeah. I told her, yeah, it is sad. And she said, your friend included, talking about me. And I said, what she mean, your friend included? Don't try to paint no bad picture of me, because I'm not the one causing division. I don't bother nobody. I go to work, do what I have to do, and take my tail home. I'm not with all that, all that crap that the narc is up to down there. And so she said, yeah, that's what she said, though. She was trying to say that you're not innocent. And that really pissed me off. So I say, oh, but when I see her, I'm going to set the record straight for myself. Since you didn't take her for me and tell her what the real deal is, I'll tell her myself. She was like, no, don't ask her, don't ask her. And I'm like, why are you telling me not to ask her anything? I'm not going to go to her in a messy way, I'm going to go to her and say, what do you mean your friend included? Because you don't know nothing about me and what's going on at work. You only go by what people are telling you, And again, a lie is more believable than the truth for some reason. It's just like that. It's been like that since the beginning of time. It's going to be like that forever. And so she was like, no, don't ask her, don't ask her. Just let it go. Just let it go. No, but you're asking me to let something go with somebody, they have the wrong idea of me. That's not who I am. But then again, I'm like, I'm not even going to explain myself to this person, because if that's how they feel based on one person's response to the whole thing, then whatever. But again, that just goes to show that the narcissist, they're not going to take up for you, when it's convenient. They need you to look bad sometimes. They need to look like that you get your hands dirty in messy situations. They need that. So you can never trust a narc. It's like you really have to deal with them on a limited level, and you cannot feed them information, because they're going to turn that information around and it's really going to go against you. They're not for you. They're only for you when it's convenient. That's why. And another thing is, like, narcissists, things might be all good in the beginning of a relationship, in the love bombing stage, and they got you in a trance. And they even got you to agree with joint this and joint that when you're not even married. And so now you have mail coming in, and the mail is not, the mail is everything your name and their name. You don't have separate mail coming in anymore. That's something to question. When a person wants to do everything, it's together. It's together. It's ours. And you know that this is not something you really agreed to. Like, you just got tricked into a situation of being, again, tethered with the narc, because that's what they want to do, attach themselves onto you. And when they do that, it's for life. It's not temporarily. It's for life. If you should ever come apart from a narc with a situation like that, it's only because someone else has torn y'all apart. The narcissists will never pull themselves away from you because they don't want to. They don't want separation. They don't want to come to a settled agreement. They don't want closure. They want control. And if they don't control you, they just want to stay stuck to you. They don't want to let things go. So you have to pay attention to things like that with certain people. Don't just let stuff like that slide. You have to question it. It's always like a hidden agenda with the narcissist. Things like that don't just happen because it's convenient. They want to convince you, well, I did it like that so that we can just do it together and, kill two birds with one stone. Like, no, you should have given me the choice. You made a decision totally based on your own, how you want to deal with it. You didn't include me in on making a decision for this. So, okay, so the second thing that I want to talk about, I'm not going to be too long-winded on this, is how car salesmen, be careful when you go to the dealership, because car salesmen are very narcissistic. They will use manipulation. That is how they get their commission. That's how they get their sales. That's how they get your name on the dotted line. And you have to be careful because they speak a good game. They sell you those dreams about those cars you want. And at the end of the day, you signing your name away on something that you might not even be able to really afford. Narcissists, who work in the car industry and everything, they will do stuff like really convince you why you need to get that car now, because the one you're in, it ain't gonna last very long. You need your car. First of all, they want you to think that they really care about you. That's the mask that they wear, just like all narcissists do. And they want to convince you why you need to hurry up. Narcissists, again, always in a hurry. Why, it's a must that you move quickly in signing these papers and getting that car. And even if you don't have all the money, they're gonna make some type of shiesty deal with you. You have to be careful on these little side deals they make with you and stuff. Like it's like they want to hold it to you and constantly bring up what they've done for you. I've talked to, the manager. I talked to the manager. My boss, he was able to offer you a better deal on the car. All you have to do is sign this paper and agree that, you're going to bring back $600 more on your down payment, and the car is yours. We're going to hold it for you. We'll even put sold on it. We'll even put it at the back of the dealership so people won't see it, on the front lot or whatever. So it's like they do all those things, say all those good things. They know that's what you want to hear just to get a sale. So you have to be careful. And the dark side of car salesmen who are narcissists is when you don't move quickly enough, they will check your credit over and over and over again. And I have this thing on my credit. I have credit monitoring. So it emails me and let me know if someone is checking my credit. And that doesn't happen unless I have a late payment on something. So that doesn't happen. So if you just so happen to start getting these notifications, that's when you should question, like, who will be checking my credit? And at the same time, this car salesman is constantly reaching out to you. That's because they're trying to get a reaction out of you. And at the same time, this is ruining your credit. Every time they check you, I don't care about no soft credit check. None of that matters to me. At the end of the day, it's credit, and they're checking it, and it's going to have a negative effect. It's going to, even if you got like a 700 credit score, it's still going to bring your score down, even if it's for 30 days. And for them to check it over and over again, they do stuff like this. I've heard stories like this. I have experienced it, and I didn't know what was going on at the time. And again, I realized that narcissists will do things like this. Any normal car salesman who trusts in their ability to get out there and get the customer what they need. First of all, it's about what they need. You don't go putting someone in a Ferrari and they got a really bad credit score. You checking their credit and you just see bad credit. You don't just give people what they want because that's what they want. You help people out and give them what they need to build themselves back to where they want to be. And that's how normal car salesmen should think. But toxic individuals who are just in it, for the gimmick, for the money, they don't care about your well-being. They don't care about your finances. Once you sign that dotted line, get those keys and pull off, that's all on you now. You're just going to be struggling with that car note. And again, they'll uphold information that you need right away. Like, okay, so what kind of note am I looking at? So be careful not to put money in their hands right away, because you'll end up stuck in a very, frustrating situation. It'll turn out stressful because you're like, dang, I wasn't ready for this kind of note, even though you do need a car. Again, a really good car salesman will put you in what you need. They will give you the best advice as far as getting into your next vehicle. They won't just give you what you want and sell your dream and say all these good things and make you feel all good and confident and everything. And then when you have to start paying that note, like you just getting a new note on a car, the last thing you want to do is start being behind. That just goes to show they really didn't care about your situation. So just be careful. Also, narcissists, when it comes to buying a car, do not buy a car with someone you're not even married to this person. Just don't go into these joint contracts with people if you don't really know them, if you're not going to be married to. Just be careful who you decide to go into stuff together with, because it's going to always end up a bad outcome when you're dealing with a narcissist, because they're going to hold that up against you. They're going to always feel that connection. They're going to use that as an excuse to break no contact and harass you and just give you constant headaches. So that's the end of this video. Those are just the two things I wanted to talk about. How you should be careful when you allow the narc to give messages for you and be the middleman, because it's not going to be good. It's going to always be turned around on you, make you look like a bad person. And how you should be careful of these shiesty car salesmen who are narcissistic. And you'll see the signs when things start to happen and you start to feel rushed and pressured and stressed out. You got to think back to, how did I get in this situation? Think back to the conversations y'all had. just backtrack, you know, the whole everything when you first set foot on the dealership property. Even when you called and inquired about a certain vehicle you seen online, if they were telling you, and call me back, and hurry up and call me back, and not only that, texting you. No car salesman should be texting you all in the middle of the night. Like, they are really, they're really crossing the line and just overstepping their boundaries, like, as far as on a professional level. Like, who does that? No car salesman should do stuff like that. They're really, they feel so entitled, and like, they just feel like that's something that they should be able to get away with for the simple fact that y'all have made a deal. And that's just verbally. Like, I haven't put any money in your hands yet, so you really should stop. So anyway, yeah, there's just something to think about, you know. And y'all leave y'all thoughts below on those two topics. Thank y'all for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I might be back on tomorrow and I might not. I don't know. But yeah, I'll talk to you soon.